Financial Secretary Paul Chan has defended his decision not to hand out more sweeteners in his 2017-18 budget, saying the government must exercise fiscal responsibility and do what is in Hong Kong's best interests. Taking budget questions on a radio show today, Mr. Chan said he does not favor permanent tax cuts as the government's annual expenditure will grow to $600 billion in 5 years.
There are suggestions asking us to reduce permanently the tax rate. There are people asking us to dish out more. Some even suggest that, Paul, you are lucky because you are financial secretary now with a huge annual surplus. Why don't you hand out more sweeteners to promote your own popularities so that you may be able to get a better chance for the next term? I haven't done that. I decided not to, because being a responsible financial secretary, what I need to do is what we believe to be in the best interest of Hong Kong, both short-term and long-term. I think we have to be very careful because the expenditure side of the government has been increasing. Looking into the medium term, 5 years later, it will grow to over 600 billion.
On why the government spends more on infrastructure than education and social welfare, Mr. Chan said such comparisons are unfair.
Actually, the increase in expenditure in the coming 5 years, a lot of it is from retirement protection, social securities, old age allowance. So the increase is not just infrastructure, but the increase is also on recurrent expenditure. The increase in infrastructure, part of it is catching up on the underinvestment in previous years. And part of it in the future years mainly is for domestic, not cross-border, for domestic transport, community facilities, stadium. So if we examine in detail the infrastructure projects coming on stream, I would believe that the community will be with us.
On a caller's request for tax rebates on private education spending, he said the issue is not a priority item, but the government will consider it.
In terms of raising a children, at the moment it is the relief is in terms of a children allowance. Whether we are going to give certain deductions for private school education, at least this is not on my agenda at this particular stage. I can take down your suggestion and ask the Education Bureau to take a look.
Do you think it's something that the unit might look at? The tax review unit?
At this stage, for the tax policy unit, I'm afraid that this is not our priority item. But in terms of government decision-making process, I think the right approach perhaps is to take this to the Education Bureau, which is the specialty.
But this is a tax issue, really.
Oh, no, it is a policy issue. Tax is something to support the policy.
Mr. Chan added the government will diversify the economy to offer young people more quality jobs and to continue tackling the land shortage problem.
In terms of the frustration of family earning about $50,000, having child, living in a very congested place, I can feel the pressure. I can feel the helplessness. But to help these people in terms of housing, I believe is that we continue to work on land supply and public housing. In particular, subsidized flat for sale, things like HOS, home ownership scheme, or even one more tier of such subsidized flat. I hope the community will be with us in terms of recognizing this is really a capacity constraint affecting not just our economic growth, but the livelihood of the people. And we have to continue to tackle this and confront this so that one day land supply would not be something still restraining our community's development, even twisting the value system of the people. This is so unhealthy.